What's up, guys? Welcome to Lunch Money on a Tuesday. While Wall Street's trying to get rich, the rest of us just trying to get our lunch money right. Coming to you every day at noon-ish. Why-ish? Because we don't have our shit together. Sometimes before noon, afternoon, right at noon, or 5 p.m. The beautiful and intelligent Polina Marinova is here. She's got on red. She's violating the dress code. It's fine.
It's a red kind of day.
It's a red kind of day?
Yeah.
What, a red Tuesday?
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the first topic, bailouts. Everybody want to bail out. What's going on in the bailout world? This is you're forgetting your role already? Guys, do you see what I'm dealing with here?
So governors are calling for a $500 billion bailout because of coronavirus. It has kind of crushed them.
Everybody want a bailout. The airlines, the movie theaters, your local government, everybody want to bail out.
I would rather them bail out our local government than bail out the airlines.
But just so we're clear, the government asking the government for a bailout.
Yeah, but like hospitals, you have to understand.
Why do I pay taxes? Let's get right to the facts. Let's just get right to the facts. The government says, okay, if you're a local or state government, here's the deal. We're going to have to raise revenue. So here's what the things that they do. They say, you're going to pay me taxes. You're going to pay me parking tickets. You're going to pay me speeding tickets. You're going to pay me applications so you can go build your building. You're going to pay me for, you want to buy a gun or you want a hunting license. We're going to pull on all this revenue. The main part of it is from taxes.
Okay.
But now when I run out of money, I don't go bankrupt. I just go to the government. We just print more.
No, but hold on.
Why do you need my money for?
They need your money.
I can't print any.
They need your money in normal times, but right now it's Corona times and everything is crazy and jumbled. And a lot of government agencies aren't even open. We couldn't even get a marriage license.
If the government can't run something appropriately, then it should be privatized. Would you rather, let me ask you this, would you rather to have a public, inefficient organization running something or a private, inefficient, capitalistic approach to running something?
I will say the New York DMV was pretty great.
It was great? Do you think a private company could do better than the DMV?
Probably, but that's, I don't know how that works.
But here's my point is we got the governments asking the government to bail them out. Like, this is absurd. Right? Hey, governors, go figure this shit out. Stop asking people to print more money and steal wealth from the bottom 50% of your population.
Can local governments print money like the main government?
Government? And neither can I. That's the problem. See, this would be cool if I could go to the government and say, hey, man, I ran out of money. Can you print me some? But I can't do that. So why does the local government get to do that? Or the state government or the airlines or anybody else?
It's like a magic trick.
Yeah, it is like a magic trick. Go ahead, tell them. She's a magician. Nobody knows this yet, but she has magic tricks.
So last night we were talking and I realized that the Lunch Money crew doesn't know that I'm actually a magician.
Explain why.
I do card tricks.
She has a number of math tricks. They're not magic tricks. They're math. Where she counts the cards and then can tell you what your card is.
He was amazed by my magic tricks.
All right. Look, at the end of the day, you're not getting a bailout. I'm not getting a bailout. The local government shouldn't get bailouts. Everybody stop trying to get money printed because you're stealing money from the poor in order to make your mistakes up. Here's the thing. How much bullshit do you think is going on at local governments that they're spending money on that they shouldn't be?
Probably a lot.
A lot, right? How about at the state level? I bet you if we went and looked at a state budget, we would be appalled at the stuff they're spending money on.
When I was in college and I would report on the university administration and I saw how much stuff was going on there, I was like, can you imagine what that's like on the state level?
What were they doing? What crazy stuff?
I know, just like things that were inefficient or misleading or whatever, and we would report on it. But I was amazed that was happening at a college campus, which is so tiny and small. Imagine on the state level and the federal level.
In one of the stimulus bills, there was one of the things that they were hung up on and they were negotiating was how much money was going to be set aside for cleaning supplies in the Capitol building. $25 million.
I could clean it for less than that.
It's the same, right? So listen, everybody want to bail out. I'm not getting one. She's not getting one. Local government shouldn't get one either. Stop the madness. Stop the bailout madness. All right, so what's going on with Goldman Sachs?
Goldman Sachs thinks that based on its models, the downturn will be 4 times worse than the housing crisis, and then an unprecedented recovery will occur.
Yeah, but their whole model is based on a double-digit drop in GDP in Q2, which I actually think is probably pretty likely. So they're not magicians in the sense of
not like me.
No, look, they are probably pretty accurate in the decline, but this always cracks me up, right? oh, this is going to be 4 times worse than the worst economic crisis in our lifetime. And so if there's any recovery, of course, it's going to be unprecedented because the drop is unprecedented, right? So it's kind of like saying, hey, I have 100% growth in my customer base if I'm a small business. And you go, great. How many customers do you have? You said, well, I had 1 last year and now I have 2. Well, yeah, okay. So I think that part of this is just if there's a big drop and you recover, which I think we all agree the US is going to recover, it's not going to go to 0, then there will be an unprecedented recovery. But again, they're basically positioning this as it's going to be a pretty V-shaped recovery, right?
Yeah.
This idea that like,
this is definitely a V shape, not a U shape, not an S shape.
Yeah, they believe it's just everyone's going to go home. We're all going to sit at home and there's going to be this, like everyone's going to come back out. Newsflash, I'm willing to bet 30 to 50% of restaurants and small businesses aren't coming out of this thing. They just can't survive, right? And unfortunately, in many cases, it's not just a financial thing. There's literally been the breaking of the entrepreneurial will of small businesses. If you're, in your middle ages, you've been running a business for 10 or 15 years, you're like, dude, I hate this, but I can't get out of it because I can't sell the business. I have no other job prospects. I've got employees, etc. Here's your chance. You shut down your business and say, hey, I want to go do something else.
It's not that simple.
I think it's going to happen. All right. So do you agree with them or not?
With Goldman?
Yeah.
Sure. They seem to be psychic enough.
So, and also 4 times worse than the housing crisis. How are they measuring that? Are they saying that the stock market's going to go down
Based
4
on
times
their
more?
Forecast, I have no idea.
All right. Because they're saying that the U.S. will see the highest unemployment rate since World War II, according to Goldman Sachs. That might be possible.
Yeah, see,
as well.
I don't like that this article isn't pushed. Okay, what?
We'll call them out. CNBC, what are you doing? She doesn't like your articles.
Anyway, let's move.
All right, let's move on to tuition. Oh, this is a freaking amazing topic.
So, okay, here's what's interesting. All these colleges, elite institutions like Harvard, Stanford, etc., have gone online. If I'm a student and I'm paying, will I expect a tuition discount?
Well, they are expecting a tuition discount. The schools are saying no,
well,
right?
Of course.
It's all a sham. Look, the virus has exposed all the shams in society.
So this is interesting. I thought this was an interesting point. It says, for example, the average cost for an in-person Calculus 1 course in the United States is $2,500 compared to about $400 for the online equivalent.
Yeah. So basically, online courses are just priced differently. And some of that is because you actually need the cost of the electricity, the building, like all that kind of stuff. Got it. And also the professors cost more money than at online. But if you're providing the online experience and I paid for the in-person experience, you shouldn't charge me for something I'm not getting.
Yeah, I think everybody's kind of taking the mentality of we're all in this together. Like, I get you're struggling, you get that I'm struggling. So people are kind
The schools aren't struggling, though. These schools literally, this is the sham of higher education. They're not schools. They're asset management firms that have schools. Harvard has tens of billions of dollars. Yale, tens of billions of dollars. Stanford, $30 billion, etc. Here's the sham. I'm going to teach you guys a real quick lesson about higher education. Get billions of dollars into an endowment, manage that endowment. You have incredible tax advantages. You basically pay no taxes and you grow that money and you can compound it very quickly. You then end up with tens of billions of dollars and you claim it's for the school and rainy days and all this stuff. But then when the rainy day comes, you don't spend the money. So across a lot of these universities, what we've seen is they've literally cut ties with their vendors. So they said, hey, you're the vendor who runs our cafeteria. We're cutting our relationship with you. And then that forces you to go fire all those employees. You got $30 billion. Go take your money and help them. Why should they suffer because you're unwilling to spend the $30 billion? By the way, that's your choice. That's fine. You don't want to do that. That's okay. But you shouldn't get the tax advantages from it then. And so what ends up happening is we shouldn't break up big tech. We should break up the fucking universities. We should take the asset management component and get it out of the university.
We have a lot of hot takes today.
It's because this is exposing all of these scams. That's what that is.
Okay, hold on.
So, why do they have to not pay taxes, but I have to pay taxes?
So if you were in college right now,
yep,
and it went to online only, what would you do?
I probably would just do what everyone else is doing. I'd go to the class because I have to go to the class. Like I'm already down that path. But the point is that I think kids have a very valid argument. By the way, I don't think schools are going to reimburse them or give them discounts or any of that stuff. But I think, again, what it's exposing is university is not a bad thing, right? But the value you get out of going to school when you're 18 to 22 years old is more outside the
The
classroom
social aspect.
than
Totally.
in the classroom.
Do you think the consequences of the pandemic they're going to change education as we know it?
I think that there will be changes. I just don't like, there's not gonna be like drastic changes, right? It's not like, hey, everyone went to university and then when we come out of the virus, no one's gonna go to college, right? I
Okay.
don't think it's like a massive change, but there's definitely people who are sitting there saying like, wait a minute, why am I getting, why am I paying all this money to sit at home on Zoom? I could do this exact same thing on the internet, right? Or I could take online courses or do whatever and I can get the same knowledge. Then it comes down to like, well, are you willing to pay 80 grand a year to get a certain, one piece of paper that's got one emblem on it versus another? Some people are willing to do that. Some people aren't, right? And then you layer in on top of that. Well, it's one thing if I just had the 80 grand to pay, but am I willing to go $80,000 in debt to get that emblem on the piece of paper?
I don't know.
Not really that exciting.
Go to a state school. It's great.
All right. What's going on with Quibi?
Quibi. Apparently it did really well.
Is this Hot Take Tuesday? Like you got red on, I got hot takes. Are we just on fire right now?
No.
Fire emoji, fire emoji. All right, go. Oh, did you hit me with the Dikembe Mutombo?
So I noticed that a lot of you guys were calling me Dikembe in the comments last night. So, Joe.
Polina has a photo with Dikembe Mutombo.
That is where I learned my skills.
All right, what's going on with Quibi?
So Meg Whitman says that Quibi reached 1.7 million downloads in the first week. So here's what I'm going to say. This is a little bit of a misleading number because, hot take, they have a 90-day free trial until they start charging you $4.99 or $7.99 to look at their content. Well,
and they have $1.7 billion that they literally ran Super Bowl ads and ran trending on Twitter before they ever launched.
Wait, what does that have to do with anything?
So basically, well, how do you get users, right? You can get users through three things. You can get it through word of mouth. Right. You can get it through earned media, and you can get it through paid media, right? And earned media basically means there are people writing articles about you, whatever.
There have been a bunch of profiles lately.
Yeah, yes. they got a bunch of earned media. They also have a little bit of word of mouth, but most of their acquisition is coming through paid acquisition. How do you know? They're paying.
How do you know?
Because they ran a Super Bowl ad. That's millions of dollars. They're the number one thing on Twitter a promoted thing. So they're spending all this money trying to get users. And for them to only get 1.7 million people.
Is that not good?
Look, there's plenty of people who think that's really strong, right? I think that's pathetic.
In 1 week.
Because, again, you've got to look at it as 1.7 million people are signing up for a free service. This is free.
That's true.
And they got all that press coverage, and they spent millions and millions of dollars over the last couple of months, and they got 1.7 million people. Compare that to Disney. Disney got 10 million people in the first day.
Wait, when?
Disney Plus.
Oh, Disney Plus, yeah.
One day, it had 10 million subscribers paying. No free trial, none of that nonsense. Paying. Real service, real value, real customers. These aren't real people. This is 1.7 million people who are just here. They're tourists. They're going to come check it out and they're going to leave.
Do you think that COVID-19 and the fact that people are at home is helping or hurting Quibi?
Well, I'm assuming helping them. One, because I've read reports that they actually have all of the content already recorded. Like they've already created all the content. They have it through the rest of the year, and they sold out all their ad inventory through the end of the year.
Luckily for them.
People are sitting at home right now. They got nothing else to do. It's like I've watched everything on Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, etc. I might as well sign up for this service too. And they still only got 1.7 million people.
Yeah.
Put it this way. You guys want to know a little fact?
No.
More people are going to watch this YouTube channel this month than Quibi has in new users in the first week.
That was such a self-promotion.
That was. But I'm just going to put it, little old me and Polina got more people going to watch this YouTube channel than Quibi got in the first week to sign up. We ain't got billions. All we got is a couple of jokes and a little, red shirt. Yeah, a little lunch money. All right, what else is going on here? Jiro, we got 4 minutes and 45 seconds. Can we get it done?
So he really likes this. We recently watched Jiro Dreams of Sushi. I don't know if you've seen this documentary. It's great.
What is his name?
Jiro.
Jiro Ono?
Yep.
All right. I love movies, and so does Polina, even though she won't admit it, of people chasing perfection.
Cheer is another one.
There's a bunch of them that we've watched. We're going to start giving you guys heads up. So there's a movie called Jiro Dreams of Sushi. Where is it available?
It is available.
Where did we watch it?
Unclear. I think on... Oh, no, it's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. It's called Jiro, Jiro, like it says here on the screen, Dreams of Sushi. And it's about a guy who runs a sushi shop in Japan at the basement or the bottom floor of a subway station.
Yeah.
And he is the only individual to run a restaurant that, what is it? That got 3 Michelin stars, and you only can sit at the bar.
There's like 10 seats.
There's 10 seats in the place. It's incredibly expensive. It's like hundreds of dollars per plate. But he's been doing this. He's 85 years old or 90 years old.
Now 85, yeah.
Yeah, he's 95 or 85 years old.
In the film.
In the film. So he's definitely older. And his whole thing is perfection. He's been making the same sushi. He doesn't make super exotic stuff. He makes very, very basic sushi, but he tries to make it perfectly. And the documentary goes into how his sushi that is supposed to be basic tastes different and better, etc. And he's like, look, it's the way that we treat the rice and where we get the fish. And he goes through all of the little details.
We soak the tuna. Yeah.
So it's very, very good. Highly recommend. Also will warn you, warning. If you watch the documentary, you're going to want sushi because it's awesome.
Yeah.
What's your favorite kind of sushi?
Oh, I like spicy tuna.
Spicy tuna? All right. That's like a pretty down
like?
The road. You're a fairway,
What do you like?
No problem. I like shrimp tempura.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one, too.
That's a good one? Yeah. All right. I'm glad we agree.
He always eats my shrimp tempura.
When we order, it all comes together. There's no yours and mine.
Yeah, but I go to reach for a shrimp tempura and then...
You know what kind of kid you were on the playground? You were probably the kid who was like, it's my ball. You can't play with us. And you would go and play in the corner. And all the other kids would be like,
that's very accurate.
Screw her.
I think that has happened.
You did that? You just took the ball and left?
Maybe. If I was playing with you, I would, for sure.
I would throw rocks at you on the playground. All right, guys.
Oh, we about to have a discussion now.
I got Dikembe Mutombo here with me. I appreciate you guys watching Lunch Money every day around noon. Oh, there's Dikembe and Polina again. By the way, you're like half his size.
Do you know how tall he is?
Yeah, he's over 7 feet tall. You know how short you look there? Well, Wall Street's rich. The rest of us just trying to get our lunch money right. I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully, Polina will continue to join us. She may get too annoyed and leave, but we'll see. She reads every single comment, by the way. So if you want to leave a comment, she will read it. She will probably tell me if you're nice or not, which she has done every single day for the last week.
So be nice.
All right. Any parting words for the people?
No, just being kind to their friends like always.
All right. She's a magician. We'll see you guys tomorrow.